Hey there, and welcome to this mini episode of the podcast. It's a mini video episode, so trying something new. I just thought that I could do a little story time today about all of the times that people have tried to steal my phone. And I thought maybe some listeners would have relatable experiences. So yeah, that's the topic today. I think it's kind of funny, mostly because the different situations were not successful, but yeah, a little bit interesting. As a disclaimer, I just want to say that I know that every country has crime. I'm not saying that Chile is at all by any means more dangerous than living in the United States. In fact, in the United States, I was much more afraid of gun violence than anything else. But this is my own anecdotal experience of different times that people have tried to steal my phone since I've been living in Chile. Yeah, so the first situation when someone tried to steal my phone, I had been living here for around a year or two. And I was with my husband. We went to a disco in Valparaiso. And after leaving the disco, it was not that late by Chilean standards, probably 2 or 3 in the morning, which for any Chilean, that's kind of like not when you would normally be leaving a party, but I like my beauty sleep, so we were leaving around that time. So I order an Uber, and then we go outside to wait for the Uber, and 2 15-year-old kids come over. And what was weird was they came over to me and my husband, who's Chilean, and they asked if either of us had a lighter, but they came to me specifically and were like, "Do you have a lighter?" And I just thought that was weird because when 2 people are standing there and you need a lighter, it's more normal to say, like, "Do either of you have a lighter?" So I kind of thought, okay, this kid wants me to open my bag or something like that. I just kind of looked at him and shook my head. My husband actually gave him a lighter. So my husband gave him a lighter. Then they kind of wander off for a second, come back. And I noticed they're kind of hovering there. So I get a notification on my phone, like a vibration that was basically the Uber saying that it was close to where we were. I pull out my phone, and all of a sudden from behind, the 2 kids that were just there run up behind us. And one of them, they were pretty short, and I'm a pretty tall person. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", if you guys know the US measurement system. And so I would say 5'10". And so this kid he was pretty short, and he basically jumped from behind me and reached for my phone. And out of fear, I just threw my phone at my husband. And it wasn't the best throw, so it actually missed his hands because I kind of threw it. I don't know. I don't have the best aim. But he basically kind of hit it with his foot. So he caught it with his foot and picked it up, and the 2 kids ran off. We ended up walking to a gas station and messaging the Uber to pick us up from there because there were kids trying to steal my phone. But that was the first situation. The second situation when someone tried to steal my phone was I was outside of the train station. And the train station, so I will say that outside of a club late at night after drinking is a common situation, at least in Chile, where someone might try to steal your phone because you're kind of vulnerable, and probably in a lot of countries. Also, outside of the main train station, the San Borja, I think it was the San Borja train station in Santiago, there are just so many people. So you're kind of stuck. When you're walking through the crowd, my go-to is to power walk to kind of get around, not to be in the same place for too long, because that's when someone might slip a hand in your pocket and take your phone. It's always pickpocketing. that you have to look out for. It's not like violent, aggravated robbery like in the US. But it's really difficult outside of the train station just because of the number of people there. And there's a lot of tourists. I think I'm kind of like a easy target because a lot of people think I'm a tourist. So, they don't really know that I've been living here for 4 years, so I have some ability to detect when it's a bad situation. Obviously not, because I have been in these situations, but I'm walking, and all of a sudden I had a cloth bag with me, one of those tote bags that was cloth, and I was being cautious, I thought, because I was covering kind of the mouth of the bag with my arm so that no one could like slip their hand in and grab my phone or wallet. But all of a sudden, I kind of feel like a little tug with the bag. And I think, what is that? I turn around. There is a very short man with a knife that has cut open my bag. I'm not even joking. He cut open a slit in my bag and he had his hand in my bag around my phone. And mind you, it's kind of funny to me because this was a really crappy phone. It was not an iPhone. It was not a new phone. It was like really, I don't even know how much money this man would have gotten from this phone had he sold it, but he had his hand around my phone. I was in shock, so I kind of just like looked at him, and I was towering over him also because I'm tall and he was very small. And so I just like grabbed the phone from his hand and took it, and he kind of quickly turned around and started walking away. Without thinking, I just started taking pictures of him from behind in case I needed them for some reason, but yeah, I wish that I had, like, in your mind, you always think that you'd be like, get away from me, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you stealing my phone? Or, like, you have all of these mental dialogues. In the moment, I know, I've always known this, but my fight or flight response is to just freeze. I'm very useless in these sort of emergency situations. I just freeze. So yeah, I kind of just froze, and I was like, and my husband was like, what just happened? And I was like, that man, I was taking pictures of him, like, that man tried to take my phone. Yeah, so that was the second time. The third time, I was also in Santiago, and I went to a salsa club with a friend for her birthday. And this is another situation where really I am so careful when I'm not drinking and when I'm like have a clear head, because I know that someone might try to pickpocket me. It's like something I'm very aware of, because I've seen it not just happen almost to me, but also to other people. Like I've seen people have their phone stolen, unfortunately. So I'm usually very careful, but of course there are people outside of bars waiting for people that have had something to drink to, take advantage of them. So I go outside while my friend was like having a little smoke break, and I had like a purse and my phone was in the purse, but I didn't put it all the way in. So like my purse didn't clip shut. And this woman walked by and was asking my friend and I for money. Like she needed money and was kind of like telling us her life story, why she needed money and stuff like that. While she was talking to us, this other woman gets really close to me. And I knew the whole time that it was like very suspicious, but of course my reflexes, my ability to think clearly was altered because I had been drinking. And so she gets really close to me and she like puts her hand in my purse, and I just like remove her hand and I don't say anything. And I don't know why. I can remember it really clearly, but I don't know why I was not in my right mind. And so we continue standing there, and then she tries it again. And then I just remember I was like, me está intentando robar, weona? I was like, are you trying to rob me? And she just like froze and power walked away. So she like booked it. She left the scene quickly after I kind of called her out. But yeah, after that situation, I was like, that was so stupid. Why did I have my purse open? Why this woman was like trying to rob me multiple times, and I was like, are you trying to rob me? So yeah, not my proudest moment, but a little bit interesting. Funny because I didn't get robbed. So, and that was also the phone that was not a really good quality phone. So I don't know how much someone would have been able to sell it for anyway. But the other situation, this happened really recently. It's not as interesting as the others, but I was like on the street corner with my husband, and we made a reservation to this like underground vegan restaurant, but we were 15 minutes early and it was a really nice day outside. So we decided to kind of like sit on the side of the road close to the restaurant, which is in Valparaiso, in Cerro Concepcion. Very good restaurant. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in the description of this. So we're sitting there and I have my phone out, and this guy just starts walking over to us quickly. And my husband was like, put your phone away. And so I did it, and it was really weird because then he kind of like turned and walked in a different direction. And I was like, okay, that was really obviously he was on his way to take my phone. And then it was time to go to the restaurant for our reservation. And so we're walking to the restaurant, which is a block away from where we were sitting. And he's kind of like weirdly following us on the other side of the street. And all of a sudden, these street dogs come and start like barking at him, freaking out. They're like, bah, bah, bah. And that's another thing I've seen a lot, where like dogs have such good instincts with people, and I trust them so much. I've seen multiple people that are shady trying to steal something, and the dogs just lose their minds and like warn everyone. That's something I've seen a lot. So yeah, those are all of the stories I've had so far of people trying to steal my phone. Luckily, none of them were successful. And yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. Again, I just want to say this kind of thing hasn't happened to me in the US, in terms of like someone trying to pickpocket your phone. I find that that's just something that's happened to me a lot more in Chile versus in the US. But that is not to say that there isn't more or worse crime in the US or in other countries. So just to be clear about that. So let me know what you thought of my stories and if anything similar has ever happened to you.